Hello, fellas.
Hello.
How are we?
Hello, everyone.
Oh, we're good.
Wow, you're delayed.
Your
mouth moved. You said something and your mouth didn't move for about 10 seconds.
Oh, I have that problem at the best time.
Oh, this is going to be so fun just watching your voice and then your mouth move. About
It's like one of them old Godzilla movies.
Because on mine, I'm fine.
You look fine on mine.
Yeah, it's just mine. You're just not incorporated enough.
Sorry.
Oh, you know what? There's many times my mouth goes. Yeah, my mouth goes before the voice comes out properly.
We've heard.
Can't deny.
Welcome to episode 3 of No Holds Barred. I am Bernard, this is Ian, and our little man in the middle is Martin with his photobombing dog.
Can I just say people can't read? Well, then again, no, because you probably get people watching this who might not be able to. Okay.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Just shut up, will you? This is why you aren't in charge of doing things.
I say,
you had no idea where you were going.
I had no idea what I was saying there. No, I didn't. But I went with it. Kept going.
Well, can you hurry up, please? Because people are watching this.
So we are on tonight. Shut up. So we're on tonight, and we are going to delve into the world of relationships and dating as well. So we're gonna give a little insight to our past dating experiences and our past and current relationships. Now, if anyone who wants to know, Martin unfortunately is happily married, so he's off the market. So you're just stuck with me and Ian. God help yous. We are the.
Well, just because I'm not in a relationship does not mean I'm not unhappy.
To be fair, I don't know which one I want to poke more, you or Bernard. Both of you at the same time.
Just so he doesn't get jealous. Just so he doesn't get jealous, I'll let him take the fall.
That's all right, because I don't like. Yeah,
I've never been keen on sloppy seconds.
No.
Ian hasn't got standards. We all know that.
That's a bit insulting to my exes, and I hope they all gang up on you, all two of them, and you get run over by them.
Yeah, well,
I was taking that the whole. My mind took that in a different way. Then I can just imagine Bernard being suffocated with
we're
something.
Not even going to ask what your mind took it into because we must rather get kicked off.
Poor Bernard's too innocent. He wouldn't be able to put up with my exes.
No.
I can just imagine being suffocated by clunge.
It's a kind of wrong. I think that could be a good way to go.
To be fair, I couldn't think of anything worse. And Bob.
So we were talking last week, and the topic of dating and relationships just popped up. And we spoke about maybe throwing this out there to you lot. Shut up, Mom. But because I want to kind of see how your mental health has maybe affected, building relationships after you've took that knock, and whether it has affected or not, or whether it's done the opposite and done better for you.
Okay. Well, who wants to go first on that one then?
Go on, Ian.
I think we'll leave it to you.
Who? There's two of us. Which one?
I thought you were talking. Wait. Okay, yeah. Martin, would you like to take that one, please?
Well, go on then. Right. When, as I say, I had my breakdown about 2 years ago. And to be fair, my husband didn't know a fucking thing what was going on because I hid it really well. And to be fair, his feelings didn't really come into account when I was I didn't really care how he was feeling at the time because, as I say, I was going through my own shit. But since it's happened, I think it's made me more open about how I feel. And I'm always honest and say, listen, if I'm having a shit day, I'll just be like, you know what? I'm having a crap day. Leave me alone. Or I need a little bit of an extra cuddle. But yeah, I think it's open. I think it's made our relationship a lot stronger. Not that it wasn't strong anyway, because we've been married, nearly 10 years. But I'd say it made it that little bit more extra because I didn't feel like I could confide in him. Like, as I say, because even in any relationship, being a man, you always want to keep things to yourself. You think you've got to be a man. You've got to be strong. You've got to be able to provide. You've got to be able to do this. You've got to be able to do that. And I was calling my wife anyway, so he's like the woman. So I didn't want to put that on him.
Yeah.
But now, as I say, I can't see it as more equal now. So I am very honest about how I feel with him, and yeah, I think it helps. And I do think it makes a relationship stronger when you can be truly honest with that person and not have any secrets and hold back on anything.
Do you find, though, because he's more understanding, or he knows what you went through, he can be more understanding than just, oh, fucking hell, Martin's in one of them moods again? Prior to, before he knew the extent of your depression, if you'd have been in, like, one of them moods, one of them quiets, it's kind of where he'll put it on, so, oh, fucking hell, what am I getting blamed for now?
I mean, to be fair, he does put up with a lot with me because I am a moody fucker at times. And I'll hold my hands up, and I am. I'm not perfect. I am. And goes, sometimes he just looks at me and goes, what the fuck is up with you now? And I go, well, like I've just had a bad poo. Sort of like that. Well, I won't, but...
No, but I can see that I suppose it's taken away that...
yeah, it's literally like there's not...
on himself. Is it something I've done? What have I done wrong now?
Yeah, that's what I mean. And to be fair, when I look back at things, he probably did blame himself for a lot of things and thinking, did I do something wrong? Have I done something he's not like? Am I going off him? Because sometimes, like I say, when you're in a relationship and you are literally in that state of depression, your relationship does snowball out of control. I mean, you stop having sex, you stop being intimate. I mean, things that you would normally do in a relationship, you stop doing. So it's like, was he thinking, have I gone off him? Was anything that he done wrong? And I can honestly say it's like he never done nothing. And it wasn't the case that I'd gone off him. I'd gone off myself. I hated myself. I didn't like myself. The thought of being intimate with someone didn't appeal to me. I just thought, why? Why would anyone want to have sex with me like this? Or the way I'm feeling? And it did. It snowballed. And as I say, but we are a lot more open and a lot more honest. Well, I am anyway, now. And I don't hold anything back. And I say it has made our relationship a lot stronger. But
I think it's as we were saying last week not last week, the week before when we were talking about the depression. Now that you've gone through that, it's kind of made you a stronger person. So even though such a negative thing happened, a positive came out of it.
Oh God, yeah, totally. I mean, I credit him for saving my life half the time because I think, fucking hell, imagine if I was with somebody else and they couldn't handle me, I'd be on my own and I'd probably fucking off myself. So I think the fact that I had him and he was sort of like, as I said, where I've said being open, but I didn't want him to find me dead on the kitchen floor. I do credit him for that. As I say, I do credit the people who helped me in like the crisis team and James's place, but he was a huge part of it. He was there every step of the way with me, as well as my family. Yeah. But he was the one who was like there picking me up when I was on crying my eyes out, where every time I was like going past the supermarket and I'd be like that going, and we'd be like, my bargain, and we'd be like that. I'd be buying more paracetamol or whatever, and he'd be like, put them fucking back. You don't need them. We've got a packet. You don't need any more. And I mean, since then, it's kind of like we'll only ever keep one packet in the house because you never know the clue. Sometimes you have that little thought in your head, fuck, I'm just going to go and do it. I never will. But I think that's like something you battle with every single day when you've been through it. It's like
Oh god, yeah.
old habits creep back in, and you think to yourself, and that little, little inner demons start kicking off and saying, "You're not good enough. You're not worth this. No one loves you. People are just out for what they can take from you. You're worthless," and all that crap. And it's you're putting it in your own head. So I think he's like, as I say, he's being like my little rock.
Have you found that he's kind of more aware of when you're not feeling good, or
Yeah, I mean, he's totally
well,
on it. I mean, he watches me like a hawk.
So I was going to say, do you? I'm trying to put it in a way. Do you feel that he now may have gone? Not that he has, but do you feel that maybe sometimes that he could be overthinking things now sometimes and just watching every
Yeah, I mean, I do think he does. Sometimes I'd say sometimes he is a little bit over, like a bit controlling and a bit over the topic with things. But I get it. I get where he comes from with it.
Yeah, you can understand what.
I can understand where he's coming from, as I say, because he went through it all with me. And where it's saying like you're in that state of depression, and you're seeing, and you are in a selfish mind when you are like that, and I'll hold my hand up and think, I didn't give a flying fuck about anyone else's feelings, thoughts, whatever. It was all about me and what I was going through. No one else's thoughts mattered. And he went through it with me. And he did. And I put him through the ringer.
See, now where you say that.
But I know he'd have done it regardless, because he's that type of person. Because he loves me, and we're married. But I don't know, as I say, if that was at the beginning of the relationship, would it have worked out? Would it have lasted? You don't know.
Do you know what you just said then? Right. Because I just want to get your opinions on this, because I've had this conversation with people before, and people of like counselors and stuff. I've had this conversation with one counselor in particular. When you said about your thoughts were being selfish, you said you were being selfish about anything. Is that actually you being selfish though?
Do you know what? I know what where you could say what you're saying, but for me, I think, because what I'm saying, by being selfish, I wasn't in a position to think about anyone else's opinion, thoughts, or feelings, because I was in that sort of, please somebody help me, because I am going to go into. So I get what you come from, but I will say to a degree I was selfish.
Yeah, no, I have that opinion, because like when you're out of it, you do look at it and think, well, that was selfish. That is a selfish thought. Yeah. But when you're in the moment, it's not. It's because it's it's your process of like dealing with what you're going through. So I always like to ask people that, just because it's like, you do get people say, oh, well, they're being selfish because they want to kill themselves, and look what it's going to do to me. But then is that not the other way around of them being selfish?
No, what I mean, like, because when, as I say, I'm married, and you are everything's meant to be, you are meant to be like a pair, you're meant to be a duo. It's all about, us two. And I put him through it. Watching me suffer, put him through it. So he kind of got it, like, it must have fucked with his head just as much as my head was fucked at the end of it.
But I was going to say that you don't, when you're in that state, though, you don't realise how someone who's close to you and loves you with all their heart, how
it's affecting
destroying it is for them to watch you go into that and basically fall apart and destroy themselves in front of their eyes, and they feel helpless about it. That you don't when you're in that moment, you don't think about that, but it's got to be just hard for the people around you.
Yeah, that's what I mean, where I was being selfish because I wasn't thinking of them. And I get what you say. In that moment, you can't think of them, because all you can think about is what you're going through. But when you take a step, like, say, from now on, 2 years back, I can look back and go, right, okay, yeah, I was probably a little selfish in the way I acted with things. And it's very confusing, because I think, on one hand, you want to say, yeah, I did go through it and I suffered, and yeah, shit hit the fan and whatever. But on the other side, where I want to say, I did probably act a little bit selfish towards like my partner.
It's
Where
kind
it
of
was
weird
all
because
about
you
me.
act selfish, but at the time it's not selfish because
That's what I mean. 'cause
you're
it's
not.
it's
You're
hard to
mentally, you're not thinking of it that way.
Yeah, it's hard to explain where you're like coming from. Where one side, I'm not. Well, that's the thing. You don't know what to. I can't even explain it properly. Where you, as I said, in the moment, you're not being selfish because all you're trying to think about is getting yourself right, getting yourself better.
Yeah.
But because we're talking about relationships and stuff, it was hard on him. I mean, because I wasn't the most loving person because I wasn't ready to receive it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't like myself, and it took a long time for me to actually like myself and stuff like that. But until I mean, I don't know what as I say, there's been a lot of things that snowballed my little depression state, but it just goes hand in hand, I think.
Yeah.
So how are we now? How are you two now?
As I say, also spot on. Couldn't be happier. I mean, he does me fucking head in because all he wants to do is decorate. And it's doing me fucking head in. It's like you've just done one room, now he wants to go on to
One
a fucking
more
another.
room. One more room.
Listen, we've just done the fucking hall, and now he's going.
I've seen it.
It looks nice. Don't get me wrong. Oh, I want to do the kitchen. Fuck off.
It's like a spiral. By the time you finish the kitchen, you'll
You gotta
look back
start
at
again.
the room and go, "Oh, you know what?"
Exactly.
Which I think this lockdown's been a lot to blame for all that because you've had far too much time to be sitting there looking and go, "You know what? I could do with a change."
Exactly.
And yeah, I always seem to start when the lockdowns are ending. I've not got on the pattern yet.
I just don't want to fucking decorate any more rooms. Do me fucking head in.
I mean, to go back on to what Mark was talking about, in my own mental health and relationship, I took myself out of the family. I took my way, do myself in, took myself away from the family setting. But as much as we tried after everything had settled down, the relationship had basically come to an end. And I suppose looking back at it, I can understand why it broke down because there was too much pressure on her at the time. And I have no bitterness towards it over the likes of that. You might get some people who go, "Oh, but how can they leave you when you were in that state?"
Listen, well, I totally get it.
You've got to think what I put her through and the children. Lucky enough, the children will come out fine. But the relationship between me and her was no more. She couldn't handle it, and I totally understand why.
Were you married, or was it just like somebody you were seeing?
It was a long. We weren't married, but it was a long-term relationship, and we've been together for a lot of years. And I think because half the time I wasn't aware of the depression anyway, and she probably just seen me as being moody, and then it kind of ate away at her that, you know, she didn't want to be in this relationship, or she wasn't happy anymore, which is mainly because of me going through my depression. But until I went off the deep end and tried to end it, and then got basically diagnosed with the depression, that's when I think it all just came too much for her, and I totally understand why.
Exactly. See, I've been on the flip side now, where I say, where you were talking about, I've been with someone, and you do have to put yourself first when you're in a relationship sometimes and go, I can't deal with that person anymore. They are bringing me down too much. And that, as I say, the person who I was going out with, they might have been having a few mental issues. Well, he was a fucking psycho, but it was just, and he become a little bit of a weird stalker. But I had to leave the relationship just for my own mental health to sort myself out because he was getting a bit. So I get it.
That's why I say I can understand it from her point of view because she had the children to bring up and support as well as look after, but easily look after me as well. And if you're bringing up two children and someone constantly looking at someone with depression and making sure they're all right. There was a point where it just snapped, and she basically had to make a decision what was more important for her.
Exactly. And as I say, I think there's nothing wrong with having to do that. As you say, you've got to put yourself in, and especially if there's children involved, you know, you've got to put the kids first and put their mental health before anyone else's.
100%, totally agree. And I feel what she did for herself was the right choice for her.
Yeah, and then say you don't harbour any ill will.
No, not at all. I mean, if anything, it's kind of forced my hand to get myself sorted. It gave me that kick up the arse of I've got to get this treated and move on and try and get on best as I can.
But yeah, you'd have your days where you're down and you're in the dumps.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, they're still there, but you kind of get used to living with it.
See, that's the thing. I don't want to get used to living with it, so I just thought, like, I think it's easier the fact that I know he's there for me. Being on my own, I don't know how I'd have been or I'd have coped. Because where my own survival instinct kicked in, and I was thinking, as I said, didn't want him to find me dead. I think, but if I was single, I don't really know who I'd have had that. If I'd have had that thought in my head. So
yeah. See, where you've got
being a bit more dangerous.
I haven't got a partner with me, but in my mind, I've got my children.
Yeah,
so I stay around and keep myself there. And sounds horrible. I use my children as a fail-safe.
No, but that's a good thing to have. And I do think that's as I say, I know I've got me brothers and I've got sisters-in-laws, I've got nieces and nephews who all love me and care for me and do anything for me. But as I say, if I was on my own, I don't know if that would have been enough for me to stop me. Because I knew, to be honest, there's been a couple of times where I've still attempted it, and for one reason or another, it either hasn't worked or I haven't totally gone through with it, and the children haven't been the fail-safe. So that sometimes worries me. But still here. I'm still that's
open.
Where you can always ring me up and I'll bleed and come round and I'll bite your ass if you can't.
See, the sheer frighteningness of you turning up on my doorstep keeps me alive and keeps me here.
Well, there you go then.
I'll pass you his address in a minute.
I was going to say something then. No, you don't. No, that's not a problem. I say when we spoke privately, appreciate the help everyone gives me.
Listen,
I'm still looking for
dysfunctional family.
It's kind of weird. I mean, what we're meant to be talking about here about relationships is that I don't know if I'm looking for a full-on relationship at the moment. Not because of the mental health and that. I think it's more because I've moved on and I've kind of got used to, how can I put it? I'm kind of setting my own way a bit more. And
bringing someone new in. It just fuck with everything. I mean, relationships are fucking hard work.
It's bad enough with him. It's bad enough with him just moving anything in his flat. God help if he wants to move in. He'd kill him.
I knew this would come up because of my OCD, which you find fucking hilarious. It's somebody else coming in and putting their own little stamp of themselves in my place. I don't know how I'd cope. It needs to be someone really special for me to actually go, yeah.
I think you need to just, if you ever do get with anyone, you need to just give them a drawer and that's it.
Yeah, but just my OCD, they'd have a drawer and I'd arrange it for them.
Do you know what? It's like Sheldon.
You know what? I laugh and joke about it, but at times it drives me up the wall.
Oh no, I laugh and joke about it, and I'm not sorry, but I do mess with your head sometimes.
Yes.
Which if the shoe was on the other foot, you would do the same.
Oh, good God, yeah. I torture you relentlessly.
That's fine. As long as we've got that understanding and everyone knows that this is a mutual understanding before we get slated for having a go.
As we were saying, we're talking about relationships here. I think if I was to get with someone now, I couldn't give this place up. You know, move in with someone. I could probably. It'd be like a holiday share. I'd stay there sometimes. They'd probably stay here sometimes. But I think I'd value my own little space too much. It might change.
You do need your own space.
Yeah, it might change if I actually got someone and it was different then. But thinking about it now, I'd be like, no. I've worked hard and done this place the way I want it.
Right, I need to ask you, son, as an older man,
be careful.
As a 50-plus man,
well, 2 years. 50 plus makes me sound like, well, go on, carry on.
That's still 50 plus. Right. As an older man, right? What's the difference from dating back in your teens, your younger years to now? What's been the big differences? I mean, like, obviously you've got like, there's no videotape dating anymore. There's none of them. It's more social media. You're not going to send an audition tape in for
it's all swipe left, swipe right. Swipe
left, swipe right. How have you adjusted? How have you adjusted to going from having to go to talk to someone physically and maybe go to a bar and chat people up to literally just swiping left and right on the phone? How have you coped and changing your methods?
All right. Well, to go back when I was in my early 20s, when I started really going on the dating scene properly, it was that one. The only way you really got to know someone is if you stepped up to them and spoke to them. Especially if the only places you really met was like pubs and clubs. So you did have to have that physical interaction. And you did.
I think it should be like that now still. Bring back the old days.
I think now is a lot easier, especially with the dating sites, because half of it is done for you because you put in what you like, what you don't like. So you get like a list of possibilities, and then it's for you to just sit and go, yeah, no. Oh,
listen,
no.
You could probably say go on them Tinder, go on Grindr. You could have a person round your house within an hour.
Yeah.
Getting what you need and then send them on the little merry way. No relationship, just your ball bag emptied.
You know what? I can't disagree with that one. That's fine.
Oh,
Paul Bearded is our moderator, with his finger on the button, going, no.
Please put a disclaimer. I lost the button.
No, but as you say, I think it's a lot.
Disclaimer now.
I'd say the only difference is what you were, apart from the shag, the only difference between now and going back then, you've got different things in your life that you're aiming for. Where when you were younger, you were just happy to get your nuts away.
Yeah. Do you know
most of us weren't really thinking about, oh, this is my life partner, I'm going to settle down forever with them. You were just kind of thinking, yeah, do that.
So if we
to the age where, yeah, I'd like to settle down.
So if me and Mom were hypothetically
bumming,
hypothetically gonna put you on a dating website, I'm ignoring him. Gonna put you on a dating website.
Yeah, I want to see where you're gonna go with this one. Yeah, what
would we be looking for? What would your goals be for, the partner?
Alive.
What are you looking for as in life with partner?
Now, I'd say I lean more towards intellectual than physical. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's still got to be an attraction.
Yeah.
But it's the be all and end all. I'd rather now be with someone where I can have a conversation with, as well as have good sex, really good sex, can do good sex. But that's not the only reason.
Do I need to put a disclaimer underneath whatever he says? It's total lies and he's bull.
No, it's not.
That could be his profile. Gives good sex.
It could be. You never know. You could get a lot of it, especially in Southport.
Are you offering? Cheers, babe.
No, I'm not putting the wig on.
Joking aside, that is more what I'm looking for now. It sounds corny, but it's like they're sitting down, they're cuddling, watching a movie, or going out and all that. It's having the stimulation between us where we can have a talk and a conversation about things.
Do you know what though? It's dead, as I say, coming from being happily married and all that crap. It's dead nice, when you can just sit there and you just cuddle up. You don't even have to speak to them. You're just watching some shite film and you're just like cuddled up watching. And that's how I spend out most of my Sundays. And then I fall asleep. It's
that comfortable silence you can have with someone. Because you can have the uncomfortable silence where you're both sitting there looking at each other going, I have no idea what to talk about or what to say. Or that one where you're in such a relaxed relationship, you can just lay there.
Exactly.
And there's no awkwardness about it. Well, you've got 2 points of view. What's yours then, Bernard, as a younger male? Use that word loosely.
Do you swipe right or swipe left?
He likes to go up.
I'm not super liking anyone. I don't know, because
what do you prefer? Do you prefer to meet them on a night out, or do you prefer to chat online and get to know them a bit? Because you are a bit younger than us.
Yeah, for me, I'm not confident on a night out. I'm not confident to go up to someone and start a conversation. That's just me personally, and from my background that I was speaking about a few weeks ago. But I struggle with conversation. It's one of those things that really messes with my head, because sometimes I don't know when to, stop a conversation or, input, and you can see it on this sometimes. You can, my head's
you're sort of
and I can't get it in. But
so would you say because of the age you grew up with, then you're easier texting a message? Because I'm different. I prefer face-to-face conversations. If somebody messages me and I've got a message back, half the time I'm overthinking what the message has got to be. Or if you're on a dating site, is this message going to be impressive, or am I going to come across as
that's also a downfall. That's also a downfall of being on the dating apps, because you are thinking, right, I've got to really impress in this first message. But, sometimes what some people put on the profiles is kind of,
it's a lie.
Daunting.
Yeah.
No, sometimes it's a lie.
Oh, God, 9 times out of 10, it's a fucking lie.
Well, if you're
it's not there.
If you're reading their profile and it's like, oh, I do this, and I like this, and I don't like this, and it's just like, well, you kind of start judging yourself, and then you kind of deflate yourself a bit. So it kind of puts you off messaging people. But then
because you make the profile and you're not up to their type of standard.
Yeah, but even though if Martin was to read it and look at me, and he might say, well, you are, but it kind of deflates you. So I'm screwed either way.
What you need is me and Ian to be your wingman.
Oh, good Lord Jesus Christ, no. No.
Why? What would you be scared
You
of?
can just imagine
no.
us on a night out and Bernard just get someone on the eye and we'd be right on it. We'd be like, blah, 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 blah. Bernard would be like beetroot. He'd be cowering in a corner.
I'd be beetroot because I'd be wondering what the hell lies are they telling you? Because I'll give you one story that Ian bloody done to me.
What was that? I'll
admit this, right?
I deny all knowledge about this. But go on.
You don't deny all knowledge, because I've talked to a few people and you've admitted it. Right, I applied for first dates of maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Right, and this is the really good friend who I thought would have me back and everything. So I'll put him as my reference. Stupid idea now. And he got a phone call. Asked them about me. Until he got to, what's he like? And what did you say?
I can't remember.
Yes, you can.
Something to do with on the line. It's like he's a nice lad, not too bad. Shamey's a bit of a raging homosexual, so I'm not sure how he'll fit in your show.
To which, yeah,
He put the phone down.
yeah.
Pretty much.
Since I put on my application, I was straight.
But you know what,
Yeah.
though? I mean, have you ever watched The Undateables? I love that show.
Oh God, yeah, I love that show.
Oh my God, it's like so feel good. I could imagine you on that. I know the way you're describing it's how you date because you're uncomfortable talking to people and stuff. I can imagine it being like that.
Do you know what when I'm in, like uncomfy, I'm all right. Like if I've messaged someone on an app and we've talked for a bit, I'm all right there. And then when we get on a date, I can be fine there. It's like it's the pressure of like if Ian said to me, go up to that girl and start talking to her, that me gone. Me just.
Oh, do you know what? I never had that trouble. I'd be right up there, fucking Red Bull, and I was like, yeah, fine, let's go.
No,
And
because
the
I
thing is,
remember.
I'm more used to the interaction. I might get knocked back. Surprisingly, I know it's weird, but don't start used to. But I think it's because of my age and what way we grew up because we didn't have all this technology. God,
No, but I didn't when I was growing up. To be fair, and to be fair, it's only been in the last 10 years or so that it's really took off, like online dating. And to be fair, I met Liam on Grindr. I mean, he was a one-night stand that never fucked off, to be fair.
I thought I'd seen him somewhere before. Yeah. Well,
He wasn't. That's how I describe him to everyone. I just say he was a one-night stand that never fucked off.
that was meant to be.
Yeah. It's meant to fucking annoy him for the rest of his life.
But I do kind of feel sorry for the younger generation now coming through because
Oh, God, yeah.
they're so used to doing everything online and through the phones and on apps. So I can see how they might struggle with an actual personal interaction.
I think that's.
To me, I think it'd be very. It is. I think it'd be really awkward dating now. I mean, I'd hate to be fucking single. I mean, who the fucking put up with this for starters?
You fuck off, you, and stop rubbing it in, Mr. Married Man.
Sorry, I can't help it if I was able to keep a relationship.
To be fair, like
fucked up issues.
To be fair, like the apps are all right. You know, trying to get to know someone is easier. You know, through like doing the dating apps and stuff, but it's trying to get that initial contact because you're not judged on what you write down. You're not judged on your personality. You're judged on that one photo, and if that one photo isn't right, then you
That's
lose
what I mean. It's like people are so fucking fickle though, because they don't
I think
get
it is
to know
more
the person.
superficial now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, you
It
haven't
is,
got
if
that
that-
chance.
if you
for
haven't
your
got a fucking
personality to come
filter
through
on.
with that picture.
You haven't
It's
got a
all
right
down
fucking
to a
filter.
picture.
And
I mean,
and you know,
yeah. I've noticed as
what's
well
with all
with
the
a lot
super
of now,
fucking
they are
doggy
all-
filters?
Yeah, and you just like when you get to see the person, it's like you.
Do you know what? I did start having the rule of if anyone had a filter on their picture, and this isn't me being vain, but I've always found if people have had filters on the pictures, they've never been worth talking to.
Mm.
It's
So
all
I
them
put a
fucking
rule
duck
in.
faces where they're all
Yeah.
going, what the fuck?
Where did that
Just look
start?
normal.
Who's the
I don't
first
know.
person that thought, you know what, I'm going to look like a duck that's been smacked in the fucking face? Who was
I
the
don't
first
know.
person who thought, you know what, this looks sexy, I'm going to adopt it?
Yeah.
Because ladies, it doesn't.
No.
Doesn't.
It looks like you've been
No.
sucking on a willy covered in lemon. No.
It's just fucking stupid. And I say, I wouldn't be able to date now, I don't think, anyway. Not that I'm allowed to anyway, because my husband would fucking batter me. But,
Well, yeah, I think that'd be frowned upon now.
Yeah, you know.
but yeah, if I was single or whatever now, and I wanted a date, I don't know. Plus, you can't anyway, because all the pubs are fucking shut anyway. But
Exactly.
so you can't go and meet anyone anyway. But
You won't be allowed
I
to even
think-
leave your table.
I think it'd be really, really weird if I was like suddenly found myself single and I wanted to go out and date. I wouldn't have a clue. I mean, I know there's Grindr and all that's still around, but my God, the amount of dick pics that, I mean, to be fair, for the gay person on Grindr, that was like to say how they say hello. It wasn't hi, how are you? It's bing, here's a dick pic. That's how they say hello.
See, that's why I can never be gay, because my camera can't zoom in that much. I have to get a better picture. It's like, no, you're still out there.
And I think that's the thing with the young generation now. I mean, they're so open about sending pictures of the bits to anyone. I just don't get it.
I kind of feel sorry for them on that. In a way, it's good to have that openness and feel that confident. But that's shit.
Sort of like saying what you're going to get before you get it.
Bite you on your ass. That's something that's always out there now, and they don't seem to realise that picture's going to be there and can be brought back in years to come.
That's why I never sent any. Never did. Didn't see the need to.
Anything like that, you've got to really think about the repercussions and the outcome of what you're doing, and the message you can be sending out as well.
But I don't think people actually give a shit about that anymore. I don't think that's an issue for young people. Because they don't think that far ahead.
It's kind of that brush off mentality of, oh well, I've dealt with it now and that's it. It'll never come back and hold me.
Exactly.
And I feel sorry for the ones that it does, especially if it comes back, especially jobs now, because when you're doing an application form, there are employees out there that will go on your social media to see what type of person you are compared to what you put down on your CV. And if you've got pictures like that or inappropriate ones, that could stop you getting a job. That could stop your career in the future.
So I'm glad there's no inappropriate pictures on my social media.
See, I'm kind of glad none of these pictures were around when I was younger.
That's what I mean. It's fair. I just don't get it. It really baffles me to why would you even... I never done it. I just don't understand why I'd want... And as a gay male, I think that is the norm. I mean, I know me and, as I say, being in a relationship, and me and Liam have both had people send pictures to us knowing that we're fully well in a committed relationship, and people still ask. I think people think being gay, you're just promiscuous and dirty, and you're not. It's like we were on holiday the other year, and we became friends with one of the drag queens out on one of the bars, and he was dead nice and everything, and we were friendly and not like that. And as soon as we got back from holiday, it was like Liam messaged say, "Oh, it was really nice to meet you. Oh, we'll stay friends and keep in touch. Oh yeah, you're fit. Send us a dick pic." And you're like, where on holiday did we come out? Did we give you that idea that we were like that? I went, because we're far fucking from it.
I don't think it's like people even give that impression anymore. I think it's just that generation of that's how you flirt.
Yeah,
in a way. It's not even like you giving bad impression, or not bad impression, but giving like certain signals for them to think, oh yeah, they fancy me. I think it's just literally they just try the look.
Yeah. Well, they never fucking got very lucky, because I was right on the phone, like, you dirty little bastard, fuck off.
See, I think you can be sexy without having to send pictures.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's no mystery anymore. There's no
and to be honest, I'd rather see it in real life than on a camera.
Yeah,
because it's like people are just flashing it out there, and then there's no mystery of building that relationship up and like having those intimate moments and exploring each other in a way. It's just like, oh, there's the picture. Oh, sugar, throw the pen at me, the screen. There's the picture. You've seen it all now. There's the mystery gone.
Can I just say the exploring bit is very fun now. When it was single. And it is now still, it's still fun.
It still is. I think that's what I mean. I'd rather see it in the flesh than have as you say there, where the picture's been sent, and I'm kind of like, oh no, fair enough. Yeah, thanks. So,
because would that put you off building that relationship with someone then? Because like if I because I've had people when I've been on dating apps send a picture within like half an hour, and for me that's like warning signals. It's like, well, if you're doing that that
With
quick,
me, who else are you doing it to?
exactly.
Do you think it comes from being a bit needy as well?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I want to say that's somebody really insecure, because if they've got to send that picture out to get that instant gratification, I think that's somebody who's sort of like really insecure about how their body looks. As I say, I've never sent a dick pic or an ass pic to anyone. Never felt the need. But I would. But
to
I would
me,
say
I wouldn't. It wouldn't. I wouldn't be as interested. But it's not to say that I wouldn't give them that chance of actually meeting up and seeing what the personality is like face to face, and then you can match the boobs up to the picture. But, yeah.
Going.
Every time
They're not yours, you liar.
You can go. I've seen you naked. Well, you know, it's a weird one. Though.
It is. It's fucking bonkers. I'm saying I do feel for the younger kids these days, and it's like I always speak to like my nieces. I mean, because they're like 13, 11, and I go to them going, one of my nieces, she's like really heavy into Instagram and the filters, and she does look a lot older than what she actually is on some of her photos. And I'm like going, oh my God, babe, why are you posting that pic? Because you don't know what sort of attention you're going to get.
Oh God, yeah, especially on social media now. There's a lot of sick fuckers out there.
Yeah.
And you don't know what dangers you could be putting yourself into. But as you say, it's the mentality that it doesn't seem to sink in or they think about.
And that's, you know what though, but I think I'm a little bit sexist. Nobody comes to like my nephews. I'm like, so they can go out and do what they want. They can say they're lads. So I like go, yeah, do what you want, you know, go out, meet as many girls as you like, do what you need. So, you know, it's whatever. But like my nieces, it's like if they ever do like a live on Instagram, I make sure I come on it. If I ever see it pop up, I'm like that. I pop up and I'm going, who are you talking to? And they go, well, this lad. I go, remember, lads, what you do to my nieces, I'm going to do to you. So if you try kissing them with tongue, you're getting kissed with tongue off me. And I warn them. I'm a bastard. I'm like the worst uncle ever.
Well, no, I mean,
no, you're just being protective, aren't you?
The way you're saying it and the way you're doing it. But I can understand where you get protective. Where I think society, rightly or wrongly, still has the difference between what a girl or a woman does to what a lad or a man does.
And I think I've still got that sort of mentality where I don't see everything as being equal and 50-50. I don't. And I say, I know they're young, but maybe when they're a bit older, I won't probably give that much of a shit because I'll be thinking they're older now, you know, they've probably done it. But we're at the minute where they're quite young, and I say it's very scary on social media, especially with like, you could put a filter on yourself that makes you look like a 15-year-old kid or even younger, and you can betray to be, and you can catfish anyone. I mean, and to be fair, when I was younger, and I used to catfish people. I did. I pretend when I was in work, I pretend I was somebody else. I'd have a different picture, whatever, and I'd pretend that I was a different person. I'd be going, go on then. Let's see what I can get out of you. Just because I was bored. But I can understand where predators come in and do it, because if I was doing that just out of boredom, not being malicious or anything like that, just seeing what I can get out of a person, and I'd be like going, you dirty bastard, you've just sent me that you don't even actually know you're talking to. I mean, you can just imagine what it'd be like for younger.
I don't totally agree with what you're doing there, but
but that was a lot younger then.
It shows what people are capable of, and you don't know. Because it's easy enough to create a profile and pretend to be As if you're
Exactly.
chatting to 12, 13-year-old girl and you're this sick fucking predator and you're like, I'm 15, 16, would you like to meet up? Or
Exactly.
just
You could just fucking screenshot anything on your phone and upload it and say that's you.
Mm.
I mean, because you can go on Google and like there's billions of images of like 14, 15-year-olds, like not in like naughty pictures or not like that, I don't mean it. But you could potentially like a clip of like family photos of something and screenshot
Yeah.
and say that's you.
I mean,
It's
not
so
to say
fucking
this.
easy to do.
I'd also like to point out this doesn't just happen to girls.
Yeah, it happens
It's
to lads too.
It can happen to young lads as well, where they've probably got their front bravado saying, "Oh, nothing like that will ever happen to me." You don't know when it has happened to people. So
Yeah.
you need to be just as careful as some of the girls on the same type of things.
I mean, that's why I always jump on the Instagram live, so I'm going, you fucking day.
On that note, I'm going to draw you to a close, and we're going to go on to Ian.
Oh, God.
Go on, I can do it a good rant.
We do need a good rant. Take the floor, Mr. Perry.
Yay, thanks for that. Right, okay, this isn't exactly a rant, more of a question. How free should free speech be, or freedom of speech? All right, let me explain what I mean. Should you be allowed to say what you feel or think, whether it be political, religious, your feelings, or even things that are happening in the world around us? So if you believe in true free speech, then nothing should be out of bounds. Now, in my opinion, I'm not a fan of censorship. However, I don't believe you can have true freedom of speech. Some things need to be monitored, some such as religious hatred, violence, racial hatred towards individual groups, and the spread of disgusting, I think we touched on it a little bit then, paedophile images or talk sites. Now, if you disagree with me, we all know that there are, there's fucking vile individuals out there who specifically aiming at paedophiles who use social media sites or other ways to get in touch with each other through websites. So if you believe in true free speech, these types then are allowed to say and do what they want. In my opinion, sorry, but the evil little fuckers don't deserve any rights. So yeah, to me, there does seem to need some form of censorship. I know the system we have may not be perfect and probably needs to be improved upon, but it's a lot better than some other countries have. I mean, for example, China, if you don't agree with the government there, then you're probably going to disappear. Or the Middle East, certain countries there that I'm going to say, if you're female, the chances are you're not going to be listened to or you have no rights whatsoever. So I'd like to know your comments and your viewpoints about that one. So just let us know down below. Right, back to the other two, whatever they are. Come on, there you go. Yeah, so
and if I was gay in the Middle East, I'd be getting flung off a fucking building.
Well, some places you're gay, chances are you're going to get stoned and killed.
Exactly.
Because of the way you are. So, as I said on there, our freedom might not be the best, but it's a lot better than some.
Exactly.
I mean, to the point where you can actually demonstrate against the government here and in other countries, where some places you're taking your life in your own hands. Yeah, it's not perfect.
No, it's far from it, but
to be.
I just say worst places to be.
Exactly. On that note, fellas, I think we're done.
Fab. What's next week's topic?
So far.
What?
One of the shorter ones so far. Can I just say before we disappear?
Actually, it's been the longest.
Yeah, before we disappear, if people are liking what we're doing, can you hit the subscribe, the like, and the share button, just so we can grow that a little bit bigger?
Yeah, we are on Facebook, YouTube. We are on Facebook and YouTube, and we're also on Spotify Podcast, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. So please like, subscribe, and share. We are getting around. I'm making us get around. Until next week, fellas, I shall see you soon. Good night.
Bye, Felicia.